Well, last month, when Hamas released the remaining live hostages, they received immediate medical treatment and psychological care. And that was just the beginning of their healing journey. As CBN Middle East correspondent Julie Stahl reports, the mental recovery from captivity takes much longer than the physical.
In a symbolic gesture, doctors at the Rabin Medical Center recently turned off the lights in their hostage care unit as the last living hostage released left for home.
It's a lot more complicated than the pictures, of course. The minute they come back, the first thing we do is we actually see that there is nothing, that there's no emergency, medical emergency or mental emergency.
During the last 2 years, doctors here treated 40 returning hostages, including 5 of the last 20 Hamas released in October.
We hear terrible stories. We hear stories that you can't sleep at night after hearing, and some of them were kept in such small spaces they couldn't even stretch their hands. The food that they were eating or not eating, the variety, everything affects their physical and mental state.
Professor Noa Eliakim-Raz, who oversaw the unit here, says the medical staff had to learn and develop protocols as they went along.
It's new medicine, of course. There is not a hostages medicine. It's not a field that you learn in medical school.
Raz told CBN News while doctors thoroughly checked their newly freed patients, just dealing with injuries from October 7th can revive the trauma. And leaving the hospital is not the end of the journey.
Some of the returnees that returned more than 6 months ago are still going through medical procedures, surgeries. It can teach us about the situation. The fact that people are standing and smiling when they come back home is only a small part of the puzzle.
Alon Ohel spent 2 years in captivity. Wounded on October 7th, he did not receive treatment and suffered harsh conditions in tunnels, including starvation. Alon recently returned to the hospital for orthopedic and exceptional eye surgeries.
The moment we realized that it might be possible to restore Alon's sight, this was an emotional moment and a very remarkable one.
The surgeries were a success. New York physician Dr. Mark Siegel, an internal medicine specialist, told CBN News it's a wonder the hostages survived. He says mental recovery takes longer than the physical.
Dehumanization, depersonalization, nightmares, severe anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, they're being handled right now with kindness, with compassion. Their families are playing a huge role at nursing them back to health. The sensitivity that it takes to deal with someone in this condition is extremely important.
Professor Raz helped treat the mothers and a grandmother who came out as part of the first hostage release in November 2023.
The resilience and strength that these mothers showed is impossible to capture.
She praises the creativity used by the hostages to train their brains to learn things while in captivity.
You hear incredible stories about how they train themselves to keep track of time. They know to tell you exactly dates and hours of things they did in captivity. And it's unbelievable. Everyone held on to something that gave him hope.
She adds that the suffering the hostages endured can affect their health and lives for decades.
And you can see that not only psychological influence, but also physical influences, more heart disease, more dental problems, and even premature aging, even 4 decades forward. So the body remembers.
They will need to receive further care for years with the goal of building resilience.
The main thing is to bring them back to life. And the goals are very different and then change from one to the other. For one person, going back to life is running a family, and for the other, it's playing the piano, and for the third one is going back to the army.
Families play an essential role in the rehabilitation process. Raz likens it almost to giving birth.
They get this person back. They don't really know what to expect. It's learning each other again. They are different, and the returnees are different. The families changed too.
She says the staff felt privileged to work with the hostages. Her hope is that Israelis as a whole will learn from this crisis the importance of being a community and working together. Julie Stahl, CBN News, Jerusalem.
And that's the key to recovery, is realizing you're back in community, and people with love and compassion are reaching back out to you, saying, welcome home. This is going to be an ongoing problem in Israel, and it's not just the hostages returning. My observation is the entire country has been traumatized. Everyone knew someone who was either taken as a hostage or was part of the IDF trying to bring them home, and part of that invasion of Gaza in order to do that. But where is the world outrage on this is a question I keep coming back to, that somehow or other Hamas was justified because of Israeli occupation in taking people away from their homes, literally in the morning, getting them out of bed and taking them into dark tunnels in Hamas and keeping them for 2 years. Where is the world outrage on that? There's no justification for that. There's just pure hatred. And let's call it for what it was. October 7th was the face of evil, and the whole world saw it. And here we are with the consequences of that. Where is the outrage against Hamas, as once again they are trying to rearm, once again they're trying to attack Israel? That ideology of hate, it just needs to be named for what it is. It's evil, and it needs to leave this earth.